So if you could just get over for a little while the need for the manifestations to show up in order to support you. If you could stop needing the manifestation, if you could enjoy the process of the vortex and let the manifestation happen when you're ready to receive it, rather than feel the absence of it because you're not ready to receive it, then you'd have a whole lot better time moving along. Also, there's another piece that's so important to stick in right here and now. You're not ever going to get it done. Every moment of every life experience is full of things that are going to make you put more in the vortex. So this life-producing, energetic, swirling, source energy clump of consciousness is always expanding and flowing to you, and you are the manifestationalness of it. It's like seeds in the ground that are going to become this magnificent tree, whether the tree wants it or not. This is in the process of becoming. Are you following? And since this is in the process of becoming, and now you acknowledge that it is, maybe you'll not look so much where it isn't and start looking as it is in the process of becoming. And if you'll start looking as the process is becoming, instead of taking score too soon, then you'll allow yourself to have more fun in the becoming process, and then you'll be ready for the next understanding and the next and the next and the next, which is you're not ever going to get it done. We can say this better. If you need something to happen before you can feel good, and it hasn't happened so you don't feel good, you're going to slow it down. But if you don't need it to happen, instead, you found a way to feel good anyway because the idea of it is satisfying to you. Now, you're happy even though it hasn't come, and you're happy even though it's getting bigger, and you're happy even though it's becoming more, and you're still happy, and now it happens, and oh boy, are you happy. But your happiness wasn't dependent upon it becoming. Your happiness was because you're happy that you're a creator. You're happy that there's a seed in the ground. You're happy about the potential. You're happy about what's unfolding. You don't need this in order to be happy. And when you don't need this manifestation in order to be happy, but instead you're happy as it is becoming, now you're happy, 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 happy. And can you feel how you've got to feel like that? Because there's always going to be something new that you've hatched that you want that hasn't manifested yet. That would be like, can you imagine a small clump of society who believes in eating food, who understands that food often comes from seeds, who knows that the seeds are in the ground, wailing about the fact that the seeds haven't produced the food yet, and being so upset about it that they just keep digging the seeds up and eating them instead of allowing the seeds to become the food that they want. Well, that's a silly analogy, because in that scenario, you understand the seeds are turning to things. We want you to understand that these thoughts are turning to things, and that they are seeds that are being nurtured, and that your creations, the creations that you want, that you call more money, relationships, improved life experience, the myriad of things that you deservedly are asking for, that all of these experiences and material objects and things and possessions and life experiences and circumstances and events, all these things that you are asking for are in various stages of becoming. They're in a pipeline. They're in a pipeline, and to your degree of readiness to receive them, they're showing up in your experience. So this conversation is about asking you to slow down the need for the manifestation just a little bit, and to goose up your awareness of them coming along, so that you are excited about the idea that came. For example, we've been giving this example. If you've heard it, good. You'll hear it better this time. It's our favorite recent story about thoughts turning to things. Nothing matters to Esther more than those like you. Nothing is more satisfying to her than to experience you in some attitude of serious asking, and in a place where you are allowing the answer to occur to you. That's a manifestation that Esther really enjoys. She really likes it when you have an aha moment. She really likes it when she has an aha moment. She really likes it when a little bit of resistance dissipates and more allowing happens, because she can feel the breakthrough in the moment, and you can too. So that's sort of what she lives for. That is more than enough to sustain Esther on her happily ever after journey. So she's in Del Mar. She has 2 houses there that overlook the ocean. One a house she lives in, and one that is a guest house, and they are in a most beautiful place. So she's sitting there in her house one morning, and she has been listening to us about the power and the value of meditation. And so she's been meditating for 20 minutes every morning and enjoying that feeling of detachment and enjoying that feeling of numbness, and then listening, perhaps if there might be a thought or an impulse that drops in toward the end of meditation, because she knows that she's in that receptive mode, and so she's interested in what might drop in. And when she came out of meditation, the idea that was so strong within her was, ooh, wouldn't it be fun to move all the furniture around in this house? In both of these houses, wouldn't that be fun? Now, when you think about that at face value, when you look at it from a human perspective, that might seem odd, because Esther's busy. She has a lot going on, and the idea of just moving furniture around might seem irrational and might be irrational, but ooh, it felt like the best idea. It just felt like the best idea. What we didn't tell you is that the day before that, the thought that came to her as she came out of meditation was equally irrational. It was an idea to understand her music system in her house. She's had that house for 10 years. She's never really understood how it works. Jerry knew. There are speakers in every room, in every courtyard, out in the gardens, in the driveway. She just started pushing buttons, and all of a sudden, she started realizing that she had control of the music system. Who knew? Who knew how simple that could be? Just pushing the right combination of buttons made such a big difference. And then she started looking down the music menu, and she started playing beautiful music, all kinds of different music, classical music and rock and country music. And then she found the station that was rap. And she thought, ooh, that sounds so good. Now that's irrational. That's irrational. But her attention to it, her affection for it, her passion for it, it was undeniable. She couldn't not do it. It was so strong, and it was so satisfying. Each song better than the last. The way the music felt, the way the words moved with the music. She turned it up all through the house and all through the gardens. She just enjoyed it so much. And then she went on with her day, didn't think about it again. Now it's the second day, and now she's got this irrational passion coming out of meditation for moving furniture around. So she got online and found a company that could send 2 men and their truck to help her move the furniture. So they showed up, and they think she's nice and odd, because she's really too old to be that excited about anything. But she's just really excited about moving things around. And they want to know why she wants to move it around, and her answer is, I don't know. It just seemed like a really good idea. So they spent hours together. They moved this over here, and 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 this over here. They put most of it back where it was before, but they moved a lot of things around. But rather early in the process, they want to know who she is. These questions are bubbling within them. They're too shy to really ask. They're getting to know each other. They're actually all in love with each other. They're sharing water together. Esther wants to make everybody a sandwich. They're just really having a nice time together. And then Esther's talking about this beautiful day, and one of them then says, it is beautiful here, but I'm leaving. Esther couldn't understand that. She couldn't stand it. She couldn't stand the idea that this beautiful young man would leave this beautiful environment. Why? Where are you going? Alabama. Why? Why? Because I am a rapper, and I have some things going, and it's going better there than it is here, so I'm going to go there instead of here. And Esther said, hold on a minute. So she went and pushed her buttons, turned all the volume up in all of the zones, and now rap is playing everywhere for all the countryside to hear. In that moment, was the first clue that Esther had, that Source knew something about why this felt good to her that she didn't consciously know. She's thinking, oh, that's what that was all about. That's why I learned the music system. That's why I found that. That's why I'm so excited about this. They said, what do you do? Esther said, I'm a teacher. What do you teach? Rap. Then she said, not really. What I teach is getting to live where you want to live. What I teach is living happily ever after. What I teach is you create your own reality. What I teach is life is supposed to be good for you. What I teach is life is supposed to be fun. And then she's got some CDs and some books, and she's gathering them up, and his eyes are bigger and bigger because he didn't know why he was there. He thought he was just taking an assignment. Now Esther understands why she wants to move furniture around. She needs a wrapper in her house. She needs a wrapper in her house. And why does she need a wrapper in her house? Not just a wrapper in her house. She needed this wrapper in her house because his inner being and her inner being knew what a perfect match they were for each other. Knew what a powerful question he had pulsing within him and what a powerful answer Esther had pulsing within her. And this was the path of least resistance to get the two of them together. And that's how the universe works. Path of least resistance is being lined up for you all the time. But you're too smart for that because you're too busy for that. And you say, why would I take the time to learn this system now when I haven't known it in all these years and I've gotten by? Why would I take time away from something else important that I should be doing to be messing around with this and learning this? And then why would I spend an hour listening to rap? Why would I do that? I can't explain it. And the reason I can't explain it is because my vortex is more powerful than I am. Because my vortex has more momentum than I do. Because when I meditated, I found vibrational sameness with the energy of my vortex. And I knew and in fact am the same as my inner being. And so my inner being felt such enthusiasm because my inner being knows the manifestation that's down the pipeline, even though I can't see it. But because Esther, like so many of you and like not so many of you, is willing to follow an impulse just because it feels good, even though it is irrational. And that's the thing that most of you have sort of trained out of yourselves. You're not willing to do what feels best to you. So that brings us back to what we were saying earlier, that for most, these are just words, just another opinion, just words that might work or might not work, just words to you. We'd like you to trust, and we'd like you to apply, and we'd like you to live happily ever after. We'd like this to be the moment that you hook into that resonance and that triggers your connection to your guidance system. That would be a nice thing. But we also know that words don't teach, that it's only life experience that teaches. And that until you've had the experience of knowing for sure that you were resistant free, because you'd meditated and quieted your mind and your mind was clear, and you're swooning, you can feel it, you have no thoughts in your mind, you're not worried about bills, you're not mad at that person you work with, you're not worried about this or that. Your mind is clear, and in that absence of resistance, your vibration has risen. And you're in sync with that pure positive energy within you. And then something occurs to you. And you're not criticizing it. You're not judging it. You're not measuring it with other things. You're not asking someone else what they think. That's what would happen in many experiences. Many people would say, oh, I feel like moving the furniture around. And most people who live with you would say, what? Esther was fortunate. She was there all alone. Nobody was the boss of her, and nobody had an opinion. And almost everybody she knows or has ever known would have said, it looks perfect the way that it is. Why would you move it around? Didn't you buy every piece precisely to go where it's sitting? Didn't you measure everything before you put it there? Isn't this the most beautiful space you have ever seen? Why would you monkey with perfection? That's what most rational minds would do. Most of you don't allow yourself the new great idea that your inner being is offering, because your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want and what the path of least resistance is to get you there, you